welcome to our Smart Summer Refresh session called Off Mute, Make Collaboration a Breeze. My name is Beth Galanti, and I'm so happy to have you here with us. We're going to make this breezy and, of course, collaborative. I am joined by my colleague. Hi, Teddy.
Hi, Beth. Super excited to be here for Smart Summer Refresh. My name's Teddy, and I'm also a professional development specialist, and I'm based in North Carolina.
Yeah, so we are former teachers, me from the elementary instructional coach background and Teddy from the high school background. And we are loving talking about how students can collaborate and especially how they can talk and have conversations with each other. So we are joined by some of our awesome colleagues in the chat who are going to be there to answer any of your questions. And so we encourage you to really use that chat to ask your questions, let us know where you're from, and participate and answer some questions and give us some brainstorming ideas. So our focus for today, we're going to really go with the flow. We're going to keep things relaxed and really flowing. We are going to first start collaborating and really starting to use features in Lumio, connecting with each other, having some discussions, and really interacting. After we experience that a little bit in those features, we're going to take the time to reflect and really process how that felt, what worked, and what it will be like for our students to experience it. And after we've really processed that, we're going to go in, Teddy and I, and we're going to reveal how to use all that, how to find all that inside Lumio. So we're so glad you're here with us for this next 40 minutes or so to really talk about student collaboration. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is not just sit and watch these slides, we're going to actually participate. So we would love for you to open up another browser tab, right? So you've got Zoom open right now, and you're going to open up another browser tab and go to hellosmart.com, and we're going to choose to join as a guest. You will be able to participate in our presentation if you log in with my unique code 918918. We're going to take ourselves to this tropical island, Teddy. We're going to get breezy with this island and really participate. So I already see I have a few people joining in my class. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take you forward with me, and we're going to do a quick check-in. So I, as the teacher, have the opportunities to hit start for class, while over on the student side, you're seeing this waiting message letting you know something's about to start, but not quite yet. So let me just hit my start button. And the students get a message that they're ready to begin. This is just a quick check-in. So multiple choice. On the teacher side, I can see that the questions are slowly being completed. And if you've never taken that kind of activity before, this is called response. This is a quick way to grab a quick poll and some quick data from our students. Let us know what your experience and comfort level is with Lumio. I really love this visual. It's just kind of like, you know, I'm looking around my classroom and seeing who's already flipped their paper over, or any of those signals that we visually get.
Yeah, I do too. I really love how it allows us to know exactly when everybody is done, whether you're doing response as a quick check-in, like Beth is doing right now, or you even use it as a quiz. It's a really, really great tool to have. I know, especially for secondary, my kids would always want to know, well, what did I get on that quiz? What did I get on that test? And it's just so nice to be able to give them that feedback right away.
Yes, if you haven't figured out yet, when you select your answer or type it in, you got to do that forward arrow to get you to review your answers and submit them. And if you made it, it gives you that happy smiley face. If you saw that second question, we're asking for one word, or as close to one word as you can make it, for what our ideal student conversation is like. We're really going to be focusing on how students are speaking and communicating or writing back and forth with each other during class, during assignments. So I'm looking for, in your mind, what is that one word that's like, ooh, that is what I'm idealing my student conversation. Teddy, what do you think? I put in breezy to mine, but how are you thinking, Teddy?
I would say included. I know like when I was teaching secondary, I had kids who always wanted to participate and always had answers for everything and just couldn't wait to be the center of attention. And then I had kids who didn't want to say anything at all. So it's this really nice kind of verbal or non out loud method of getting every single student involved. And you'll
Yeah.
see soon when Beth shows you this word cloud. I think it's probably one of my favorite features of this activity.
Awesome. So I have to end the activity now. So I apologize if you're just finishing up your final answers, but I'm able to review it. And on the student side, see how I can see that, go through and review my answers and see what I had submitted. And over on the student side, I'm able to click in and get that little visual to see what I've polled my students on. So it looks like we have a majority really of brand new Lumio users who are just having that spark to get into Lumio. We have some holding strong, growing their glow of Lumio and using all the tools. And then we have our super users shining bright. We do have a handful of those. So awesome. I'll be sure to go at a great speed for everyone and kind of make sure everyone's able to participate. So I do have the option to export those results. If that was a quiz question, I could see, how many of my students chose B, chose the one that was close, but not quite. So I did want everyone to take a look at this word cloud. So I'm going to move my student experience over for a second and go big to see this large word cloud. I'm able to capture that short answer you all took. So ideal conversation, take a look at this, Teddy. On my teacher view is where you can view it back in Zoom if you're in the Hello Smart window. Look at how big engaging is. Engaged, yes, that's what it is, right? Everyone active in it. What else are we seeing here?
I love the eye contact and smiles because I always think learning should be fun. I did teach, AP classes in high school, so I know there's a lot of pressure around that. But at the same time, I was always looking for ways to make things fun. And I think the things that Beth is going to show you today is definitely going to show you how to make things more interesting in your class.
Yeah, I'm reading all these and I'm seeing a lot about that fun. I'm seeing, of course, engaged is biggest one, flowing, open, friendly. I'm definitely seeing, oh, yep, the accountable, right? So like, how are we making sure that, they're getting to the place with the conversation that we want them to get and participating. And I see this question of how down here. These are all great ideas. And we're going to talk about how do we get this to happen? So student talk is one of my favorite things about being a teacher and one of my greatest memories and experiences from the classroom. So I'm happy to talk about this with us all today. I'm going to take us forward and talk a little bit about that. So effective student talk indicators, right? Some fancy talk here, but this is not a rubric or anything. This is just the levels of when you start seeing these and noticing these, your student talk is headed in the right direction. So it starts with basic sharing and processing. So anyone sharing what they, that chatter, what did they do, over the weekend? What's their favorite, anything, that stuff that happens in, morning circle time or at the lockers, right? The sharing and really having that time to feel comfortable to share, and also processing. Sometimes we need to talk through and, really get it out to say, okay, yes, this is what we're talking about. Then you'll start seeing the more elaborating and defending. So after people have processed and shared their answers, they start having to explain more when others aren't getting what they're saying or are confused. They start having to provide reasons or start defending, right? So you probably hit a lot of that in the high school world, Teddy.
Definitely. Definitely student talk in high school. And it's so interesting because I think that different classes, and I think I taught 7 periods throughout the day. I think different classes always have their different personalities. So student talk looks so different from one class to another.
Yeah. Yep. After that point, you'll start noticing, after they've had to defend their answers, maybe someone disagrees, they start going back and forth. Then as the discussion keeps going further, start noticing that building on, like, oh yes, this idea, but, where they start developing each other's ideas and really getting stronger into their answer or their idea, or even more questions will start developing. So how do we make this happen, right? That question of how in our word cloud, how do we even make this happen? So there's these three things that we got to keep thinking about with most everything we do in our classroom, but specifically with getting our students to talk, right? They've been on mute. With the little ones, it's like, please don't come off mute all at once. And with the older ones, probably like, please, will one of you come off mute and say something? But we really need to think about having the motivation, right? So we need to have the juicy enough question or some humor in there. Put your ideas in the chat of how you motivate your students to talk. So I'm thinking of, like a controversial or a personal topic to them, something that they're really going to spark, to have to say something like, let me speak up about this, either to show what I know or to show that I have an opinion about. And then after that really comes the means, like the physical means or the tools. How do they do it? Are we providing the minutes in our instructional block? The space on the rug or table groupings that face each other to enable that talk to happen. And now specifically in the last year and a half, we've discovered we actually needed, ed tech tools to allow students to collaborate with each other, to see what each other are saying in a chat or working together on one poster or one slide. We need to provide them and show them how to use it. And for the little ones, it's something, and probably for the older kids too, right? As far as like, they need the talk, they need the stems to know, how do I appropriately, say I disagree? How do I, build on someone's idea rather than just saying, yep, I agree, conversation over. Did you provide stems for your kids, Teddy? Like, I respectfully disagree, but something like that?
Yeah, I think for me at the middle school level, I did. And I also sometimes provided stems just on a piece of paper for certain groups of kids because I knew they would need that help and others, didn't need that help. But I think question stems as well as, response stems are definitely a really important and useful strategy.
Yes, awesome. This is the one I'm talking about getting to later. So this is the one we're going to do, and I'm going to show you that Lumio has, and this is the one we're going to get to, right? This one is the meaning. So instead of just talking and hearing that beautiful chatter, we're actually going to, we want them to make meaning. We want them to either learn from each other or deepen some knowledge they thought they had. And that can take place a lot with the reflection after, or just the reflection on the actual topic or the reflection on the talk itself. So we're going to do both of those. So we're going to move forward. I want us to get participatory. So you will see now, if you go to your Hello Smart window, there is a game. We're going to get into this. So we are going to experience a game called Rank Order. And this looks, my teacher side looks exactly like your student side right now. So go ahead and pop over to your hellosmart.com window. And the way we play this game is, I'm going to get you some motivation right now to get your opinions out and warmed up on pretend you're on a tropical desert island. And we are going to think, which one of these things is most needed? Which one of these things are you hoping most washes up on shore for you to use on yours? So rank them in order of most needed to least needed. So I don't know. These are all pretty random for washing up on shore. What do you think, Teddy? What should we do here?
I know you purposely picked the funniest objects to use, and it is definitely hard. So we're on a desert island.
Right. Oh, gosh. And really processing, why are these the objects? What could they be for? I'm really hoping this had pizza in it so that you could actually eat and I wouldn't have to forage for food. But all you would do is click on these objects. You can even enlarge them if you're trying to figure out a closer view of what that is. You can slide them in, change your mind. And I've set up this game so that you are able to place them in any spot that you believe is the right spot. But you could have chosen to have, if there was a specific exact order. So what is your order? Teddy, what do we got? What are you thinking? I wonder what chewing gum could be used for. There's lots of hidden ideas here.
Yeah, so I'm thinking with the fork, I might be able to catch fish.
Ooh, look at you, Teddy. So you might say that's the most needed, right, for food, maybe, Teddy?
I guess, because if I'm on an island, I'm assuming there are trees that could provide shade as well as some sort of shelter from rain.
Okay. Thank you for
I'll definitely
elaborating,
need
Teddy.
food.
And if you have been stranded on a desert island, please don't tell us. Don't give away the answer. Please don't tell anyone in the chat what the exact right answer if you've been in this exact scenario before. I have not, but I am guessing I would really like, I would get super lonely. So I'm wondering if I would need to put this clown wig on a coconut and like make a little friend for myself.
Are you going to call it Wilson?
I might try to think of a different, clownier name than that. But yeah, you don't want to get lonely out there, right?
We gotta have friends,
pen we got, and so we can drag them in. Maybe we need something, and we're feeling strongly about. So go ahead and take another, 30 seconds or so to get your items ranked. We're going to use this information in the next page, in the next slide. I'm wondering what you all are coming up with. If you decided not to join in hellosmart.com and you're just watching along, let our moderators know in the chat which are your top 1 or 2 most needed items. Get us started here, kind of getting that elaboration and explanation and defending going in the chat. Ooh, definitely need food probably first, right? Need to switch this down one so I can have that orange. I'm gonna get hungry. But maybe there's tropical fruit on this island. I don't know. Let me get my rankings in there. Even though Teddy wanted me to put the fork higher. Okay, I'll put it before my little weapon or whatever I have here. So, all right, let's, even if you're not done, try to snapshot what your top 2 items are. Get them remembered here, folks. My 63 friends that I have with me. I'm taking you forward with me. I'm on teacher pace, taking you forward with me now. Now we're all going to start this activity. It's read only now, it's view only, right? While I explain it. And I'm gonna put us into groups so that you can each, inside your group, you can each pick a box. And I'm gonna want you to tell me your top 2 ranked items and then use the text tool to explain why. So you can tap on this A and tap in your page to explain why. After we talk about our top 2 and explain why, then I want you to move over and read others' entries and use these draggable icons to give them like as stickers. Give them some feedback. Either you're responding or further explaining your choice. So we got a question, we got a magnifying glass. Maybe we're interpreting that as learning more. We got this piranha, like I'm coming for that idea. I don't know if I agree with that one so much. We have a starfish, kind of like our sea star. We're giving them props. Sandcastle for I want to build on your idea. Like, I think you're right, but I've got more for you. And this little hang time for me too, me too. I was thinking the same exact thing as you. So I'm going to convert this into a page that we can do as groups, and to turn this flat slide over into interactive, I click on my students who I want to have this page. That's how I remember. I go down to collaborative workspace. Now I know we have 65 in here, but I'm only going to be able to get most of us, not all of us, up to about 54 of us on here to be in teams. So if you're one of the 11 who don't make it in Hello Smart, I apologize. Just look over in your Zoom window and we can watch these together. So I'm going to choose 9 groups. It automatically, salt and pepper, shakes us all into teams. And if I had an empty spot, I could switch, but it looks like my teams are good for now. I'm going to start my workspace. And I know Teddy's already thinking her thoughts about what to put in this workspace. It's showing me my teams. It's giving me that kind of teacher on the ceiling view of my table groups. of Angela's on a team with Molly, and we got over here Jan being with Lisa, and this looks like good partner groups for me. Now on the student side, you actually are able to edit that sheet. So I'll drag that over again for you to see. The student side, you all have that page, and it looks the same as before, but now you have the tools over on the left. Go ahead and use your text tool to tap into the page, pick a square, and start telling us your top 2 items, your top 2 ranked items, and why you chose them. Let's try to convince each other of who really, had the best needed item, who's going to survive from all this junk that is washed ashore. Right. And over on my teacher view, I'm still looking at my tables, but I'm able to pop into them. So these are like little breakout rooms or breakout posters where my groups are able to work together and type together and drop stickers for each other to collaborate and communicate and get those started. I'm going to check in on team 1, and they are saying they chose the orange and the fork. Awesome. Orange and the fork. They're probably wondering about food. They told me here they use text. All right. Yep. They're seeing how to move their text around. Yes. Instant food source. Yes. Teddy, someone looks like they were thinking this along the same lines as you with the fork. And it will just take a minute for these boxes to start. I'm sticking with my plan of the clown wig for a friend, because I can be a little hungry as long as I have a friend to complain to. What are you sticking with, Teddy?
I still think the fork is a good choice. I'm kind of wondering why it looks like someone said orange for food source, but for continuous food source, I'm wondering if they're going to like plant the seeds of that orange. Ooh, and if it could grow into a tree.
Maybe.
I don't know how
I
fast.
have to drag a question mark to them. I have to go back and drag a question mark over them, like, or maybe a magnifying glass. I want to know more about yours. So just take a minute to type into your box the 2 things you picked, the top 2 most important ranked objects, and maybe read some of your group mates and drag them a sticker based on how you feel about theirs. Ooh, some juice to get me going before I have to find my own food. So people are really focused on food in here. Yeah.
Yeah. And what if you're already hungry at the point of like getting stranded? You were on a long flight and then you got stranded, but you've been hungry already. I mean, it kind of makes sense that you'd want to eat an orange right away.
Yeah. Look at this one. Take the funnel to capture the rainwater and funnel it into my mouth. So it's kind of like this person, I would love to say me too, that I thought of that, but I need to hear more about how they're going to be just running around with the funnel. All right. I need to know more about that. I gave them a magnifying glass and I want to investigate more on them. Ooh, the stockings. I'm going to need to know more about the stockings here. Ooh, check that out. Tools together. Yeah. Nice. Let's go check on another team.
Some science knowledge into this.
Right? Let's go check on these folks over here. Ooh, look at them go with all their icons. I see someone's building on someone else's idea in a second with that sandcastle. Yeah, I think the orange is coming through here. Yep. Fork, fishing. Someone's thinking along the same lines as Teddy, so I'm going to drag that over for you, Teddy. Someone had that same idea as you. Ooh, practice your swing, right? On the island. You can't let those skills dry up there. So it's pretty important. This person. You know what? I don't know. I think I gotta have the prana coming towards this person. Like, I don't know how you might need to defend your idea a little bit more, because I'm coming for that one, my prana. All right, you need to explain that one more, friend. And I'm wondering who said that. All I can do as a teacher is tap on it and I can see it was guessed. Oh, good thing my students are going to be signing with their emails. I can see who wrote that, and I'm waiting for them to either explain in the chat, or I'm waiting for them to add more to their page, or maybe this is something I check in with them later. So I'm still able as a teacher to know who said what, who agreed, who supported their teammates, who really defended their answer. So it is accountable, right? And it is collaborative. And, you know, the more time you get used to doing these, the faster you are at finding the text tool and the different images. All of these images I brought in. These can be specific ones you use already in your classroom, or hand symbols that you use with your kiddos, all on a graphic organizer that was already made for me in Lumio. All right, even though we're having some fun, I'm going to check in on one more team so we can have some reflection time. Ooh, they found that importing the image with our little icon over here. Yes. Look at that. Make sure you take the time to drag an icon for your teammates, and kind of encourage them, really ask them questions, and make sure that, you know, you're giving the feedback to them where they could use it. All right. Ooh, to tie up food. Nice. All right. Someone's coming for this idea down here. All right. Even though we're having fun, I'm going to check on one more group. All right. Ooh, as a net catching fish. Everyone's all about the food here. All right. No one seems to be, that one's the piranha coming for my idea of the clown wig friend. All right. Okay. So let's, even though we're having fun, and even if you're in here and you just have one more thing to say, for time's sake, I do got to take us forward so we can reflect a little bit about what we've done here and practiced in here today. Let's just pause a minute and start with another interactive way, but this time to reflect. So I have a teacher landing page, kind of like a big mat here. And what I want to know is, how did others' contributions in that short activity of the workspace that we ranked our junk that washed ashore, we ranked it and kind of had to explain to others, and then communicate and defend to others. How did others' contributions really affect your thinking? On your student side in your hellosmart.com window, you have, looks like a little text box. Go ahead and type in there how anyone else's contributions, maybe it was even one you saw on my screen that wasn't in your exact group, how did that affect your thinking? How did anyone else in your group, or Teddy or I, change to make you either develop your idea more, defend your idea more? And then you'll be able to hit send response, and we'll check it out over on our landing page over here. So Teddy, what was your favorite idea that popped up from those workspaces?
You know, I'm still thinking about the orange for instant food supply, and obviously it's not going to last, but really planting those orange seeds. And I'm just really thinking about, maybe that was the right choice. Maybe I don't really need a fork. Maybe an orange tree would be more sustainable. I'm not sure.
All right, guys, I need to tell you, whomever that was out there, it is really hard to make Teddy change her mind about something once she has an opinion. So the fact that someone kind of tweaked Teddy's idea here, props to you, seriously. Teddy is a thinker. She thinks through. So someone made her switch from the fork to the orange, and I appreciate you. We are loaded in here with responses, and there's so many folks in ours. More than a typical class size, so they are getting overlapped, but we are getting some great submission from folks of how did others, their teammates in this class, affect your thinking. I can tap on one to kind of blow it up and focus on it and really give a focused visual for this conversation. My idea feel more unique, but also required. Awesome. So, right, maybe your idea did stand out. Maybe there weren't other responses the same as yours. Yeah. So, someone, we need to show where to find that text tool. Awesome. Yep. We all had different ideas. Someone made them think of another way about an item that they might have overlooked. So think about all the things we talk about in class that students just give that answer and that's it. If they had some time to talk and maybe discuss even on the silliest topic, maybe, you know, different parts of how much of a pizza, who ate the most fraction wise, anything that they can maybe seem a little bit silly, but they can actually defend and help each other understand a little bit more. Wonder more. I love this one. Check this one out. Think outside the box. Hear and see other people's ways of thinking. Perfect. I love this one. Helps me practice my creativity in order to survive. Yeah, right? Like we didn't really realize that when we saw this game full of all these junk pieces going up. So definitely as part of our resources, I will smooth this out and send this to you. So we'll have all these evidence of all of our great ideas here. I'm moving us forward. And this is a place, we're just going to take 1 minute. We're running on time here, but just as a minute, I'm going to convert this so you all have your own individual copy. And my magic Lumio copy machine just sent you all who are in Hello Smart your own copy. I can see my students starting it right now. This is a time for you to reflect. Just get something out of this PD that you're actually going to use in your classroom, like we did. Rank order, Workspace, and shout it out. So in your hellosmart.com window, you can press start on this page and you'll be able to drag and say, oh, in this workspace, I was really sharing my ideas and processing them. There we go. I was collaborating and defending when someone didn't like my golf club idea. Of course, I have to practice my swing. And then I was really developing on others' ideas that I saw in the shout it out. When everyone was shouting their ideas up there, go ahead and drag which ones you experienced where. And then here's where we find that text tool for the next part. Someone who couldn't find out how to, it is a little, you got to tap on the A, then you tap on the sheet and your text box to start editing will appear. And that's where you type your ideas, then you tap off of it and your text will land right there. How could you use rank order in your classroom? What items, obviously you don't, there's no curriculum that's talking about junk floating ashore, but what could you use this for? Rank order. What would they need to rank? What would they need to put in order and have to explain to others that they're correct? Workspaces. How would you get your kiddos in a team on a poster to work together? Shout it out. What voice do you want to capture from your students? What voice do you want them to see of one another's? Just take a minute.
Yeah, I recently used rank order. I love to use it in workshops just to make things fun like Beth did today. But in thinking of curriculum, just as an idea, if you teach science, for example, and you teach about the human body, you obviously teach about the different organ systems. I love the idea of having students rank the organ systems from most vital to least vital, even though, of course, they're all vital, just because then they have to know what each one does. They have to justify why they put that in that order, and then have to explain it to their classmates. So I love rank order as a starter, just like we did today with Beth.
So even if you don't get a chance to fill out this whole thing, because I'm speeding it up a little here as we arrive towards the end of our presentation, but just think, even if you don't get a chance to write it, think of which one of these you're like, yes, I'm going to use this first week of school for either getting to know you or checking out what my kids know. What's one good idea we've got going? And I'm taking us forward to this next one. I apologize if you were working on that sheet. It's going to be in the resources. We'll be able to fill out that sheet and have that as kind of a work map to take with us to our classrooms, to our colleagues, as to how to use these tools really with our students. I'm hitting start. I want you to text to me again in that text box. What was the best idea you came up with, or during this whole session before, where you're like, I really want to use this with fractions, or I really want to use this with science, like Teddy was talking about. What's your best idea for using any one of these tools? And then we'll be able to screenshot this for you all and put it in the resources so we all can take advantage of one another's ideas.
Yeah, I love this. I can't wait to see all the ideas and reflection from what you've shown us. So rank order, collaborative workspace for that discourse, that discussion. And then I love the handout for a final reflection for each individual student, because sometimes when you do collaborative stuff, you want to make sure that also each individual in that group did understand the curriculum. I love all of these ideas.
I know they're floating in. Teddy, highlight some for us. What do we think? There's so many.
Oh gosh.
I mean, all the way from the little ones, yeah, on up.
Yeah, allowing students to use icons to make comments and respond to one another. I love that because it's almost it's like a tiered level, right? Someone might be at the level where they're saying, as a student, you know what, I disagree, but I'm not quite sure how to explain it, but I can still participate and say that I disagree. So they're halfway there already. And yeah.
I love
Yeah,
this.
for
This
math
person is
questions, absolutely,
already
because you
planning.
can use them as
Yes.
an image.
Yes. You know, have them rank things, have them put them in order of most important, least important, largest to greatest, and have them have to use the next page to explain why. Awesome. Definitely all of these ideas I love. I will spread these out and screenshot them for the resources so that you can take advantage of all of these great ideas when we give you that resource link. All right. So now, how did we make that? So your Hello Smart window, we're gonna log out as a student, and we don't really have time to quite build in this short refresh session, but I will show you where I got all that. I want you to leave my class as a guest because we're gonna get you into Lumio as a teacher so you can see where we're gonna be pressing to build all of these. If you're a clicker and a trier, go ahead and feel comfortable to click and try along with. I see a lot of people are leaving my class. To do that, leave class, you go up to these 3 lines and you will see that door, just like in your real classroom, they're all leaving the door, giving a wave, hit that leave class button. And when you do that, you will see this landing page almost where you can rejoin another class or another teacher. But if you scroll down to the bottom, let me get down here. All right. Not showing up for me here. It's asking me to chime in. But we're going to go over to loom.io. All right. And I see I only have a few friends left in my class and getting them out. And this is where you're going to hit get started for free or teacher sign in if you already have an account. We are able to use all of these and have a bunch of lesson storage right for free inside Lumio. So all you have to do is hit get started for free or teacher sign up, and you will be able to get to your homepage. If it's your first time, do not worry. It's just a couple of questions that will get you through to make sure you have your free account. So I'm going to end my lesson and get to this homepage that is what you'll be seeing when you get fully logged in. If you'd like to watch and pause that login on the other tab, that's totally fine. I'm just going to point out for a moment where I found all of those tools, and it's really, really easy to find. We have a ton of other sessions walking you through getting started and a ton of great resources for you to get started as well. So I'm just going to point those out here today. When you get through logging in with your school email address and selecting your region or signing in with a teacher, if you've done it before, you will get to your homepage just like this. What you want to do is head for this giant green button, right, Teddy? We're going to click on this plus. Oh no. Get back.
We might have a lot of people using Lumio today because of this global event. So it's probably the reason. But one thing great about
look at
Lumio
my blue wheel chugging along.
Yeah. One thing great is that it does.
Want to head for that green button. All right. And you will get to, yes, this most important add content window. This is where you're going to be able to find everything that I did here today. I added a response for us to get that word cloud, and I just typed in the question. I took us through a game-based activity where we look at all these choices here. We have a total session. If you missed it yesterday, I encourage you to go watch the recording in 360 and the platform that you found us here in today, all about these games. I used rank order. Take a look at this preview video for my students to rank them. I'm going to go back and show you that any page, even a graphic organizer, where's mine right here, can be changed into a workspace. You've got that sheet. You're able to press a magic wand. It's taken me a minute here today. You're able to import in those icons either from your device or somewhere else. press this magic wand to change it into a handout or workspace. I realize that's a lot. If you'd like to know how to get started, we have a great getting started session that took place yesterday and a bunch of great resources. So glad to have you and enjoy the rest of Refresh, everyone. Bye now.